Hello again, party people. So I had lots of fun making the video earlier today. So I thought to myself, why not lunch, take a nap, make some coffee, and make some music. So what we have here, it's a song that I did. It's different than the other one. This has no processing whatsoever. It's just plain sounds. So there is no EQs, no compressions, no anything. Just creative stuff. And my thought was, well, it's been a while since I've opened Pro Tools, maybe 1.5 year, maybe more even, and I just got it reinstalled last week. So I thought, well, maybe I'll try and open this. I'll try and open Pro Tools, and I think I still know how to work with it, and I'll mix my songs there. The song you have here, it was made in the very same day that I bought the guitar. Um, this is the song that when I finished it, I I was like, maybe I'll write an album on using only the guitar, of course, not only the guitar but an instrumental album for and made by computers, something that I don't normally do. This is really the first time. My albums are always super electronic. Uh, so as you can see by my recent files, this was the very first song, and the song that we've been working on this morning, it's the fifth song already. So I have song 7, song 6, then I have the idea for the fourth song, I have a song 3, and I have a song 2. Of course, that these are just demos, and probably half of these songs will be on a B-sides album or something like that, because some are very, how can I say it, amateur, probably. So, okay, I want you to listen to this, as so I will also listen to this because I don't listen to it for a while. And after that I'm going to explain what I did, and basically I'm going to export the tracks and send them to Pro Tools, where I hopefully have all my plugins. If I don't have my plugins, we could still make it work with stock plugins, no problem. But then I'll make a second version on Ableton where I have my plugins, which are also free, but you know, I already got used to working with them, now why stop? So let's take a listen to this song. Okay. Hmm. So I'm not using my sound card because of the shitty program. I don't know why I cannot connect it to my sound card. That's why I cannot use my microphone to talk with you, which is a shame, but it's okay. We can work with it. But as I'm not using my sound card, I have to use the computer sound card, which sucks. It's really bad. And these headphones are made for studio, like professional studios, and they need the sound cards for the amplification. That's why you see, like, if I go to 11 or to 15, the sound will just like start cracking. I still don't know why. I feel like I should know why, since I'm in the music uh, and in the sound engineering business, not business but stuff. But I need to get it worked out by someone who really understands what's happening, because I think it's not normal. The volume, it's really low on my headphones. That's why I also got this a little bit higher, which is no problem, because I know for sure that I'm not going above zero. Like I make my mixes in a way that when it's not mastered and the fader is zero, it's the 6 dBs of true peak. Like, let's go to the loudest part. This is this is how you know you have a good mix. It's when you do that. And mastering, if you don't want to get to overthink it, you can just like do this, bam, and make sure that you're not going above zero, and then that's what I would call a perfect mix. Uh, Volume issues, now the loudness doesn't matter so much. I think the loudness war is like calming down. No one is or looking for the louder sounds, but rather they are looking for the best sound. So I'm gonna divide this video in two parts, and the first part will be in Ableton, where I'll be showing you what have I done, and I'll show track by track, and then I'll go through Pro Tools. Hopefully I'll go to Pro Tools and uh, mix the song and master the song there. So first things first, I didn't name... Oh, I did name, but yeah, these three are not named. Okay, this is really the clean guitar, and this is the noise guitar, and this is the chorus guitar. Okay, always name your tracks. Always group like color them. You can make groups in Ableton like you can make in Pro Tools. The groups in Ableton are like they don't really matter. Pro Tools is better at that for sure. Okay, I'll start with the first thing I remember that I did in the track, which was this guitar bass. Just like in the other song, I had the bass line, not because of bass, but because of bass line. In this one, I had a bass, but it's I'm gonna show you. It's a free plugin, and I simply... Where is it? I think this is the one. Yeah, and I simply took the notes from my bass line and played bass. You can hear this. The computer sound card is not liking at all this bass. Okay, let's keep it low and clean. So this is my bass line, and as I said, this was the very first song I did. I don't know if it's well played or not, but let's listen to it. I had a different... wait, just to be sure. So I had a different amplifier simulator. And so I think it's also free if I'm not wrong. I think it is. So let's take a listen to it. It's not the best sounding guitar, and it's not the best played guitar, but it does the job. Then after that, I just opened the bass and copied the line that I'm making, and I still have to learn how to turn a MIDI track into a mono track. I think I can do it by recording the MIDI track to a audio track, but here I did the freeze and flat setting, and I was not cautious, so it ended up stereo. But okay, let's hear the bass. Great. I also like a lot the crunchy sound. This is very much crunchy than the where is it, the DSC. It's very much crunchier than this, but they're both great. So we have presets? Well, of course not. Buy the outer beer. That's amazing. Buy me a beer also. But I'll buy you the offer of these the beers he wants, no problem. So what should we go next for the drums? So the drums, I use the same plugin that I use in the other track. It's my only drums plugin, and it's the ones that I will be using a lot and you'll be seeing a lot. And we start with only a kick, snare, and toms, and then we go and do the hi-hats. As I said, there is no processing done. It's plain drums, so let's hear them soloed. Okay. Every simple drums. The plugin that I'm talking about, and if you didn't see the other video, I'm gonna show you the name, not open it. MT Power Drum Kit, and it does an amazing thing that it's not so amazing if you're someone who likes to have control over the parameters. Yeah. But it automatically pans like a real drum kit. So I have no panning whatsoever, and everything has its own space. So that could be good, that could be bad. In my case, it's good. It's neither good or bad. I would like to have a little bit more control over the panoramics, but I'm not going to die because of that. So the next sound that I used to be on top of the bass line is this guitar high sound. Just one note, and on top of this my next step was this delay, this guitar delay, which it's there just to how can I explain it to you? It's there just to fill the loop, because this sounds very much like loop music, but so the same for the drums goes for the guitars. And if I didn't make any pens, nor left nor right whatsoever. And one tip is that you always want to mix in mono, and only in the final stage of mixing is where you're gonna pan your instruments just a little bit. If it sounds good in mono and if it sounds wide in mono, why would you pan it all the way? You know, like always mix in mono, then add some stereo to your track. Then we have the noise guitar, which I used with the chorus. I'm gonna solo it for you, so. Simply this, and combine them, and you get. Once again, I'm not a guitarist. Some stuff is out of tempo, but when the drums kick in, no one will notice. Or someone will notice, but well, fuck themselves. Nah, just kidding. What do I have here? Now I'll go after, but I'm not remembering. I don't know what this is, but I'll go there in a bit. So the next guitar is the chorus guitar, where I use the chorus but in a different way than the noise guitar. I use the chorus somewhat close to the other track, and it sounds like this. And what's happening here? And this is my favorite guitar on this guitar sound on this song, because as I said, this was right after I bought the guitar, and this clean guitar really sounds cool. For me, it's a very therapeutic sound. It's very clean, very meditation state whatsoever. And now I want to see what the hell is this, and I think this is not making any. This is making nothing, right? Whoa, whoa, all right, all right. So this is what making. Wow. This is beautiful. It's a cabinet. I know nothing about guitars, but oh shit. That was a surprise. Whoa, without it sounds dirty. That's amazing. Okay, and moving on, I go to my harmonica, which I have here, and I also don't know how to play. I don't know. I have instruments, but I don't know how to play any of them. So. So you get the idea. I'm not a musician. I'm someone who gets pieces and bits of stuff and then glue them together. and try at least make them be on the same scale and notes. So in the harmonica sounds like this. It has a little bit of reverb. Already told you that this is the best reverb. No, not the best reverb, but for free, I think it makes a very good job. And I also use that one on my clean guitar. So now let's take a listen to everything glued together, and then I'll export every individual track with the reverbs on. I want to keep the reverbs. I think it's important to not change them. I'm not going to write down the settings and stuff like that, and I'm not going to apply any more reverb for sure on the tracks that already have reverb. The max I will do is just like put a reverb in the overall. But let's listen to it all together from here, just one more time before we go to Pro Tools and the second part of this video. Nice. So I'll take a break and I see you guys in a minute. I will have to open Pro Tools first and see if everything is working fine and look at the plugins, and maybe we can mix there. If not, I'm gonna show you how I mix my songs. I'm not going to show you. We're going to mix the songs together. Yeah, so see you in a bit. So, hello people. As you see, it didn't take much time for me. As you can see by the timer on my computer, it didn't take any time to realize that I could not use Pro Tools because Pro Tools only allows me to work with a sound card or with Azure for all, but I'm not going to do that. I'm going to keep going on Ableton, and well, I'll try to figure it out another time, another way. So this song and the other song will have two mixes. I think every song in the album will have two different mixes, one in Ableton and one in Pro Tools, and then I'll compare to see which one I like the most. But this one I'm going to be mixing with you. There will be a problem. I'm not using my sound card, so my perception of volume will be very, very bad. But we'll still do it. I know we can do it. So, shall we begin? Alright, so we listen to the song, and what's the first thing that I want to do? I don't know. Probably the drums. Although they are fine, I just want to place the instruments in their own with each way, and for that I will be using AQ8 from Ableton stock plugin, and I'll put one in every. Uh, One thing to remember is that we're not making fully electronic music, so you don't want to cut or to boost too much frequencies. You want to do it just right. So we have the kick. I'm going to solo it. I'm going to solo the full every drums, and this is where groups in Pro Tools are better. I don't want to make a group and use the solo. I want to make a group in Pro Tools and you click solo and everything gets soloed. That's how you make groups, and it's getting a little hot, so just wait a minute. Alright, it's almost summer here, although we are in February. Portugal, it's really, really hot, but today it's a little bit windy, so you still have to wear a jacket outside, but when there's no wind, you can go to the beach, no problem. Okay, so let's go. Drums. First, kick. We want to take out the high frequencies. Just a little bit. No, that's not it. We want to boost. We want to boost the highs a little bit in the 4 kilohertz. That's how you would say it in English. Kilohertz? No, it doesn't sound right. I'll just say kHz. And we're going to take a little bit of the mids, so it already has what we're trying to do. What this says to me is that this plugin is very, very well made, because the kick is perfectly clean. I don't think we're going to need to EQ a lot. Like the snare, I'm just going to take 150 Hertz and boost a little bit the resonance so you don't lose anything. And let's take a look. It has some low hand, the snare, but not very exaggerated. I think it's perfect. So I'm gonna cut 160 Hertz and give it a little bit air. 2 dB? Yeah, why not? The same goes to the toms. I'm gonna go 100 Hertz. Okay, and I'll boost a little bit so we don't lose anything. I don't think it will be. I don't think it's going to mess with the bass of the song. Probably not. Right. Okay. The toms feel also. Oopsie. Okay. 100, 19, whatever. Just boost a little bit of resonance. So the rides, they all be the same. So I'm gonna cut. They'll probably sound amazing. Of course they do. These, always safe. These are super clean drums. Super clean. Okay, next thing is the bass. So I'm gonna drag the bass here and head it with the solo button, and let's take a listen to it. I forgot to mention, and only now that I saw it, I have this free bass amp simulator, and it works great. Yeah, it gets the little touch. Alright, so this is the area. Let's take a look to see where the kick is. It's where is the first transient of the kick. Okay. So this kick is having full effect at 48 hertz. If this was psytrance, what I would do, I would cut the bass at the 48 hertz, and I think I'll do it also just to see how it sounds. So we're gonna get the second band, and we're gonna put it in the 100 area. Just narrow a little bit the resonance and pull, let's be surgical, 2 dBs on the 100 hertz area, and we go into the no, sorry, I meant it's opposite. Sorry about it. So this will go to 0. No, this will go to -2. That's it. Minus. Okay. And this number 1. Okay. Just a little bit. 1. And we're going to get to the bass, and we're going to do the same, but the opposite. So where the kick is hitting 48, we're gonna narrow it, and we're gonna drop, and we're then in the 100 area, okay, 111, whatever, we're gonna also push it. So you know what we're doing is we are taking out a little bit of the where the kick and the bass are conflicting, and we have to make a decision. Okay, I need to, in this area, I need to cut a little bit the kick or the bass, so in the other area you have to compensate. If I could put them together, the two EQs, you would see that they are exactly the opposite to one another, so that everything has its space and no frequencies are lost. Okay, this is something that I do in Psytrance. I don't normally do it in my Handmade by Computers project, but just for the sake of the video. And that reminds me. Right, we're ready. Um, so we have the kick, we have the drums and the bass. I will have to group the drums in order to give it some space. So drums, and I want to add some reverb to it, and not the stock plugin, but the free plugin, Hambiverb, and I'm gonna solo it. So pre-delay is the first thing, 20 milliseconds. Sure, right. Not much space because it's a drum room. No wideness, just like a little touch. And the size, it's small too. We have to imagine a drum room. So let's listen. Okay, and we're gonna give it overall compression. I don't know if you have heard of backwards mixing. Uh, I'm trying to apply that here. Instead of mixing every single track, you just make an overall, because you don't want to overthink. Music is not about overthinking, it's about doing things, you know. If you waste too much time on one thing, the other one will sound shit, so I want to make the overall sound good, not one thing sound great. So instead of compressing, because I see a lot of people like asking, oh, should I compress the snare or the kick, or they also have live drums, which is different. Here the drums are pretty perfect, so that's what we're gonna do. I feel no need to compress kick or snare. I feel by now. Later we'll see, but right now doesn't look important. So we're gonna go to this Lake Digital virtual mix rack. This is very heavy on the CPU. That's the only problem. And the first thing I want to do is get the revival plugin. Like, as I said, this is awesome. It's beautiful, beautiful plugin. So I'm gonna add a little bit thickness, and then if it sounds good, we'll stop by that. If it doesn't, if it needs some air, we're gonna give it a shimmer. But shimmer is very harsh on the high frequencies. We don't want harshness right now. Okay, I just added a little bit of EQ, just plus 1.5 dBs on the 2070 something hertz, and let's add some dynamics. Let's go vintage. Okay, here I'm going to for a slow attack, because I want the punch of the kick and snare. I want that to be present. So just a little touch of compression, 1 dB minus gain reduction, I think. Minus 2 dBs. That sounds great to me. So by now we're done with the drums. What we want to go, so let's take a listen to this. to drop this in here. So I just compressed a little bit of the bass, and now we're going to get the guitar bass, and let's see how it sounds on top of the bass. Right? That's the problem of not having my sound card. It's sounding really, really, really low. I can't not. I'm being fooled by the perceived loudness of the sounds. I will try to raise a little bit, but okay. Here I will have to put another rack, and I want to use this EQ because I don't know why it sounds very good. So let me loop. Can you hear the difference? It makes a lot of difference. Always be aware of the meter. As I said, when anything is mixed, you want to keep the true peak here. Once you're mixing, you can go higher, because then in the mastering process you're just gonna limit. You're gonna use a compressor and then limit a little bit to get it louder, but in ideal conditions I would have a mixing console, and my guitars would be playing at -18 digital, which is 0 dBs analog. That is not the ideal. I don't have that, so I'm playing a little bit hotter, but that just gives crunch to the sound, I think. Maybe I'll regret it in the future, but right now, as a newbie that I am, I don't care. But I should care. But you know, if it sounds good to you, probably it's good, because we are the biggest judges of our own stuff. We are the biggest critics. Okay, so I'm doing with the bass guitar. I think it's too loud, but I'll lower the volume if I need to. So now the next element. I'm not going through the progress of the song. I'm going to what I know will interfere with each other. So it's this guitar high, which is accompanying, which is going with the guitar. So. I also know that this crash is way too loud, so I'm gonna get it. Okay, 11. Okay, I think it's better. One thing I forgot. I didn't necessarily forget, but I'm just going to cut a little bit because in this track I have a bass, and so I'm gonna go for the 130. Okay, it's a little cleaner. It sounds a little bit more like a guitar. I hope my battery don't die on me, because if my battery goes out and I don't see it, all the video will go out. Okay, let's go to the next thing that I want to do. It's the chorus guitar. Always remember, I know it looks like I'm being very quick and not judging a lot of the stuff, but that's what's important while you're mixing. Don't spend too much time on one thing, you know, like as soon as you think that it's good, like just go along. Don't stay stuck in one track, because then you'll never finish a song. And even if more important is, if you're making an album, this always happens to me. The first song is always overproduced and the rest of the songs sound good, but the first song that I mix, it's the one that sucks because it's way too produced, and the others I'm just like, oh, okay, it's just the same, so I do it faster. And the first one is where you're like making decisions and stuff, and you normally do more than you need to do. So let's go for the chorus guitar. Alright, let me just... I shouldn't. Or should I? Just... Alright, this one I'm just going to use a EQ8 on front of everything, just to check out the low frequencies. I'm not even going to compress it. I don't feel like I don't think it needs. And if it does need just a little touch, okay, I'll do it for the sake of the video. So. Jesus Christ. Let's look at our master meter. Okay. Now the guitar delay is just, how can I call it? Just a prop. She's just gonna need volume, anything else. Okay, as you heard, just a little sound. I could take off a little bit of the high frequencies because it has some. Even a little bit of reverb. Yeah, let's do it. Oopsie, big size, not so wide. Okay, now, fuck. Let's compress it a little bit also. Okay, dude, I hope my battery doesn't die on me. Won't die on me. So I will be quick now. Let's go for the clean guitar, everything mixed together, because to me it's already sounding good. So what about this effect? now for a little bit of mastering plugins, and let's go for the virtual rack. Let's drop this limiter that I just downloaded. Not just, but fuck you. Okay, fuck it. Audio effects, limiter. Okay, and a VU meter. You're gonna need one. VU meter is very important. So -10 is our what? Okay. Let's loop it. So this basically is what I do for mastering. You know, it's all in the mix. If you want to make the song loud, it's all in the mix. As you see, almost no makeup was needed. You know, my VU meter was already hitting like -5, -3 without the mastering, only with the mix. So the loudness is all in the mix. If you mix in a good way, it will sound loud. Then you don't need to compress it a lot. That's what mastering is. You know, it's not about a lot of compression. I have a ratio of 2, and I should put a ratio of 1.5, but let's not. So remember what I said about the mono mixing? Now we are in the final stage. It's time for widen up the track. For that we have to go to this view, and I hope you don't die on me, motherfucker. So the bass we want to be it in the middle, of course. The high guitar, it's accompanying, so we want it. Okay, where is the value? 15. 15 to the left. The guitar bass will be 10 to the right, maybe. I like to pen it a little bit. I don't like hard pen. We all have broken speakers on the car and broken speakers at home. My speakers at home are broken. Just one side works. Not very good to make music. But I like to get things as most in the middle as possible. This guitar delay, it's a prop, so 20 to the right. And then we have the clean guitar. I want to leave it in the middle. The noise guitar is an effect. I will leave it in the middle also, but the chorus guitar will be the same as the delay guitar, so 20 left. The harmonica, let's put a little bit, okay, to the left, 10. What do we have at the left? Guitar high with the harmonica, okay. So the left, and to the right we have the guitar bass, the guitar delay, guitar bass and guitar delay, so guitar high, okay. thought this revival plugin had so much loudness to the music. Look. It really is a great plugin. Badly. So I will have to go slow on this. This snare is being a bitch to me, and it's always the fucking snare. Because I don't want to, like, I'm compressing way too much. Okay, no battery. But yeah, you get the idea. Fuck, I need to get a better camera. So, bye bye.